today I wanted to talk about the GPS remote. There is a new GPS remote out. I don't have it yet. I have one on the way. But matter of fact is, do you actually need it? The answer to that is maybe. If you have the old GPS remote, this does the exact same thing as the new one. So there is no real need to replace it if that's still working. So that one is fine. It does the exact same things. But on top of that, there is a function in the Insta360 app that actually allows you to inject GPS data into your Insta360 videos. Now there are some limitations. You cannot inject GPS data into a recording with the 4K boost module or the older 4K module or the Leica 1-inch module if you want to record video. You can inject GPS data from your phone into time lapses, into stills pictures, into HDR photos, all of that stuff. You can actually inject that. The caveat there is that the app has to be running and your phone has to be connected to the camera while doing that, and you have to ensure that your phone doesn't turn the screen off. So I'll show how that's done and what to look for. And the other thing then is that obviously the big news is that we can now add GPS overlays into the video in Insta360 Studio. So let me show you what my workflow was up until now and what the new workflow is. And then I'll show you the app after that. So the way it worked originally was that you had to take the Insta360 recording that you had with the GPS data and you extract the GPS data as a GPX file. And what I use for this is actually is Exiftool as a free tool. And basically I call Exiftool with the dash API, large file support equals 1, dash EE, the profile GPS format, and then the file name, and then convert it into file name.gpx. So, and what I get as a result of doing that is this file here. And you can see that's just an XML file with all the GPX data. And the next thing then I had to import it into Dashware. So starting a new project here, new project, yeah, just project 1. That's great. The GoPro logo out, we don't need that. Nothing to do with GoPro. And we then add our video here. There it is. Open. No. And then I add the GPS X file, which is this one. Okay. And we add that. So that has given us some data. Now this is all a bit fuzzy, so we'll bring these elements into somewhere where we can see them. So if you bring the speed track down here, and then there's this one. Bring this over here on the dark, and we'll increase that so we can actually see, read what we have. Take this one, move that down here. Not entirely happy with that. Over my steering wheel. Okay. And then there was this thing here is the Gplot. Actually, I'll take that out. I don't need that. Grant. Okay. And then we take the track and we'll move that over here. So decrease it a little bit. So there. Great.
Okay, so that's basically we have all the data now placed. Synchronize. Have a look here. That's okay. Sync with video, and voila. As you can see, I then have my. Let's go forward here. I have my data, and you can see that here. Everything is working. That's what I had to do before. Export it, get the data out, and with the 360 video it gets even more complicated. Now, that's always been the case. What is new is that, let's see, let's stop this. What is new with Insta360 Studio 2023 4.6.0 and onwards is grab the video here. So you can see that's the same video I have. What is new is this little thing here, stats. And then we can go, there's our speed, there's our elevation, there's direction, total distance, slope, we don't want that, route, yeah. And then we can move them around. Okay, and then you can see if I go, let's say here, and we'll play this. Works. So the whole workflow now is gone into Insta360 Studio, and that makes it so much easier. I don't have to extract the GPS data anymore. I don't have to use another program to render the overlays afterwards. You can still do that. If you want a different look, you can still do that. But you can now do most of this in Insta360 Studio, which is fantastic. There's another view here. You can double click on this, and then it looks like this instead. And I guess there will be more templates as we go on.
So the first thing that I do to make sure that my screen doesn't go off and doesn't go black is I have this app called Wakey, and tap this, and basically that forces the screen to stay on. And then we go into the Insta360 app, and I'll start with the One RS 1360. I connect to that. Okay, tap into the camera, and you can see my video feed. I'm on video. And tap up here. The GPS is the one that you want. As long as that is enabled and the app is open on the screen, it will actually send GPS data from the phone to the camera. So you can see when I go into photo, same thing here. It's something they put in for Google Street View. That's probably also the reason why they only have it on the 360 video and the other one. So you have the interval, no, the video, the photo, the HDR photo has it. You see it there. The photo, video in all 360 cameras, time lapse in all cameras. That even works with the 4K boost module and the Leica 1-inch regular. So that's how you get GPS without the remote to the camera. None of the cameras have GPS built in. They depend on the GPS from the phone or the camera. So what we do now is we'll exit this, turn this one off, and I show you what it does with the Leica lens. Actually take this out of the. Okay. So go back into the app. X this. Connect to this one. And as you can see here in time lapse, I have GPS. If I go to video, I don't have GPS. So to get GPS with video, with the Leica or the 4K boost, you need the GPS remote. That's the only way you get GPS into that. But for all the 360 cameras, for the X3, for the X2, for the 360 module and the 1-inch 360 module, for those you can actually use the phone as your GPS and you don't need the GPS remote. So I hope that was helpful. If it was, leave a like. And there's a couple of videos here that you might want to watch, how to pair the GPS remote, for example. And I'll see you in another video. Bye.